April 9, 1942. Written by Salvador P. Lopez and broadcast by 3rd Lieutenant Norman Reyes. Bataan has fallen. Bataan has fallen. The Philippine American troops on this war-ravaged and blood-stained peninsula have laid down their arms, with heads bloody but unbowed. They have yielded to the superior force and numbers of the enemy. The world will long remember the epic struggle that the Filipinos and American soldiers put up in the jungle fastness and along the rugged coast of Bataan. They have stood uncomplaining under the constant and grueling fire of the enemy for more than 3 months. Besieged on land and blockaded by sea, cut off from all sources of help in the Philippines and in America, the intrepid fighters have done all that human endurance could bear. For what sustained them through these months of incessant battle was a force that was more than merely physical. It was the force of an unconquerable faith, something in the heart and soul that physical adversity and hardship could not destroy. It was the thought that native land and all that it holds most dear. The thought of freedom and dignity and pride in those most priceless of all our human prerogatives. The adversary, in the pride of this power and triumph, will credit our troops with nothing less than the courage and fortitude that his own troops have shown in the battle. Our men fought a brave and bitterly contested struggle. All the world will testify to the almost superhuman endurance with which they stood up until the last, in the face of overwhelming odds. But the decision had to come. Men fighting under the banner of the unshakable faith and made of something more than flesh. But they are not made of impervious steel. The flesh must yield at last. Endurance melts away, and the end of the battle must come. Bataan has fallen, but the spirit that made it stand, a beacon to all liberty-loving people of the world, cannot fall. All of us know the story of Easter Sunday. It was the triumph of light over darkness, life over death. It was the vindication of a seemingly unreasonable fate. It was the glorious resurrection of a leader, only 3 days before defeated and executed like a common felon. Today, on the commemoration of the resurrection, we can humbly and without presumption declare our faith and hope in our resurrection, our own inevitable victory. We, too, were betrayed by Judases. We were taken in the night by force of arms, and thought we had done wrong to no man. Our people were bound and delivered into the hands of our enemies. We have been the mock symbols of sovereignty, denied by weaklings, lashed with repeated oppression, tortured, and starved. We were given gall to drink, and we have shed our blood. To those who look upon us from afar, it must seem the Filipinos people have descended into hell, into the valley of death. But we know that the patient and watching men who said their simple prayers in the hills of Bataan have not lost faith, and we know that the hushed congregation in the churches throughout the land drew from the gospel of mass renewed hope and resurrection. To all of them we gave today the message of the angel of Eastern morning. Be not afraid, for he is risen. We too shall rise. After we have paid the full price of our redemption, we shall return to show the scars of sacrifices, that all may touch and believe. When the trumpets sound, the hour we shall roll aside the stone before the tomb, and the tyrant guard shall scattered in confusion. No wall of stone shall be strong enough to contain us. No human force shall suffice to hold us in subjection. We shall rise in the name of freedom, and the east shall be aligned with the glory of our liberation.